What is going on, y'all? Welcome to episode 12 of the Fight Night Forecast with Justin and James, where we highlight, recap, and cover all things boxing. As you guys can see, landscape's a little different here, man. I'm out here on vacation in Tampa Bay area, Florida. Beautiful weather, man. Good time with the fam and stuff. But I love y'all enough that I want to bring y'all a little bit of content, all right? So we had a pretty good weekend of boxing this past weekend. Obviously, everyone saw Bouts have a pretty dominant win over Royman Villa. Not to say that Royman Villa didn't do well, because I thought, that he had some really good attributes that he brought to that fight. He brought a good new style that I don't think Bouts has ever really seen, and like that. Well, to say the least, he's the complete opposite of his last fight, right? So they had that Chukadzian guy. The Karin Chukadzian, man, he was on his bike and moving a little bit. I don't like when people use that phrase on your bike, because power punching and movement are equally important, I think, in boxing. And Chukadzian had really good movement, right? So, completely different for sure. And I think he gave Bouts a little bit of trouble, especially in the round or two before Bouts knocked him out. I think Villa was coming forward. He was landing some shots. I think Bouts, honestly. If we're gonna be real, I think Bouts is just in a class of his own at this point. I think he's ready for the big names at his division, and I think he honestly in 147, I think his real only two challenges as of now are Crawford or Spence, whoever wins out of that. I think as a Villa beat Rashidi Ellis. I don't know. Maybe while we're waiting for this to happen, we see an Ellis Ennis, but really I don't see anybody at 47 that gives him as much trouble as just moving him up to the elite level guys. So I'm a big fan of Bouts, man. Y'all know that. He's definitely my top 5 favorite fighters right now for sure. So hyped to see what he's got going on next. I think in the post fight press conference, he just called out the winner of Spence Crawford. So we'll see if they give him that, or if they give him they throw him another opponent before that. And then a lot of you guys probably heard the Virgil Ortiz Stanionis fight had got canceled. So Ortiz, who previously had issues with cardiovascular, I want to say it was a heart murmur or something along those lines. Nonetheless, he had issues with his cardiovascular system. He got cleared for this fight. They had this fight originally booked in April, and he couldn't fight because of that murmur or whatever it was. They said, hey, we're going to move it to this past weekend, and it didn't work out either. So, man, seriously though, like, prayers to Ortiz Jr. and his family and whatnot. And honestly, I believe from what some of the reports said, he had to be resuscitated during his weight cut. So that's really a scary thing, man. People don't realize the hard stuff a lot of these fighters go through, man, to put on a performance for us. You know what I mean? So I know James is a huge fan of Virgil Ortiz. I remember one of the first times I saw James in the gym, he had a Virgil Ortiz shirt on. So I know he's a big fan, and I think, man, we really need to just set up some prayers for him. I think he needs to. I think this is going to be a big talk with him and his family on whether he's going to continue boxing or not, or continue in athletics in general. So as much as we love boxing, and boxing is life, according to Canelo, no boxing, no life. Life is much more important than boxing, man. So y'all need to realize or remember that people are putting their lives on the line every single day. So, it ended up being Floyd Schofield. Kid Austin, I've been following him on Instagram for a minute, man. He's a dog in the 135 division. He ended up headlining. I believe it was a hometown bout. I want to say it's down in Texas somewhere. So he was kind of the hometown kid. He put on a performance, man. Looked really, really good. Really filled in those shoes, man, for having to take on that headlining gig, So, and that's shout out to Floyd, man, because that's tough. Being told last minute, hey, man, you're, stuff switching up a little bit. You're going to be at a different time, different bout. Now there's more lights on you, man. You're bringing on the show now. as opposed to just being the co-main. So, yeah, shout out to Floyd Schofield, man, Kid Austin. If you're watching for whatever reason, man, shout out. And so now what's going to upcoming? Those are really the two big bouts last weekend. So we'll go into upcoming now. Kind of making this quick, man, just because I'm on vacation and stuff. But I just want to make sure I got some stuff out to y'all. Upcoming, man, we got Nonito Donaire versus Alexandro Los Santiago. That's for the WBC vacant bantamweight title. So that's what's up, man. That'd be a good title bout this weekend. There's actually, man, a couple good features on that card too, man. Frank the Ghost Martin, he's fighting. I'm not sure who he's fighting actually. I'll have to look into that. But I know he's an Eastern European guy. It's something. He's actually pretty good. He's a power puncher, moves forward a lot. So Frank is honestly right there on the cusp of also fighting big names at 135. I think. I think you could. I don't know. I want to say you could throw him in there with the likes of Shakur or, with the likes of Devin Haney, and I'll go into more news about them later. But yeah, I would say Frank definitely holds his own. I don't know, because he's in the teens on winning. I think he's like 18-0 or something like that, or 16-0, 17-0, which is not bad. He's actually fought pretty good talent. So I don't know. I would say he's right there on the borderline of the best talent you can get at 135. And me and James talk all the time about how the division's just crazy stacked. So I like Frank Martin. He's in Derek James's stable. And can we take a minute to shout out Derek James' stable? Holy cow, man. He's got he's got Frank Martin, he's got Errol the True Spence, he's got now Ryan Garcia, Jermell Charlo. Like, man, these guys, and Jermell Charlo obviously has this fight coming up in September, but yeah, man, that's crazy, man. Like, Derek James is out here running probably one of the best stables in boxing, man. So shout out on that. Also, in junior welterweight, we have a pretty good feature on that same bout there this weekend on the 15th. Elvis Rodriguez is fighting Victor Postal, and that's junior welterweight. They're doing 10 rounds in that one. Also on 15th, we got a really good undisputed women's bout. Alicia Baumgartner versus Christina Leonardito, or Leonardito, I'm not sure. I know I'll be butchering these names, man, but I do the best I can. 10 rounds. The women go 10 rounds. And then, it's undisputed, man. Undisputed junior lightweight. So, Alicia Baumgartner, obviously one of the best to do it in the women's arena right now. So we'll see how this Christina chick gives her any trouble. I think that, if it's boxing, man, anything can happen. So let's not count anybody out, man. Let's see. I think that I don't know much. Didn't do a lot of research yet about that Christina chick, but yeah, I would say. If she's fighting for the undisputed titles, I would say she's got to be able to give Alicia a run for her money. And Alicia's on, man, like just boxing skill in general and ring generalship and stuff. She's on a different level, man. And I believe that's back home for her too. She's going to be in Detroit, so I believe she's from that area. I believe she still trains out of that area too. So it's going to be a little hometown fight for her. So that'd be pretty cool. Now, on that same card, we're featuring Richardson Hitchens and Montana Love. I know James is pretty high on Richardson Hitchens, and I'm pretty high on Montana Love, man. So that's gonna be a good bout. Maybe me and James will have to throw a little money down for that or something, huh? But 10 rounds junior welterweight. That's gonna be a pretty good bout. Another person James is super high on, Andy Cruz. He's making his lightweight debut against Juan Carlos Burgos on that same card. So that'll be pretty dope. And then also at lightweight, we have Mark Castro. A lot of people like Mark Castro. He's kind of climbing the ranks right now. He's fighting Fuenzalida. 10 rounds also at the lightweight division. So again, guys, moving forward, man, we'll talk about a few more upcoming bouts we got coming. We got July 22nd. We have George Kambosos making his top-ranked debut against Maxie Hughes at lightweight. Also on that card, we got some of the Olympians, man, the 2020 Olympians that everybody loves. The top rank, completely cherry-picked. All of them. Keyshawn Davis will be there. Troy Isley is going to be there. And another big name, I'm not sure if I don't think he was an Olympian, but Jeremiah Milton at heavyweight, he'll be on that card. So that's gonna be a pretty good little ESPN free ESPN top ranked card. Well, free if you got the ESPN Plus rather. But yeah, July 25th, Fulton and Inoue. Obviously, that's going to be a big bout over the pond over there in Japan. So that'll be a pretty big deal. July 29th, Spence and Crawford. And I guess we got to start talking about this, man, because it's coming up before we know it. But August 5th, we got Jake Paul and Nate Diaz. So as much as y'all want to hate on YouTube boxing or whatever, or man, I ain't trying to hear about no YouTube boxing. These guys really are putting in the work, man. I think they're bringing a lot of eyes to the sport, so we got to give them credit where credit's due. Jake Paul looks like a boxer that's been doing it about 4 or 5 years with 5 or 6 fights or whatever he has now. So can't be mad at it, man. He's really working hard at it, and I think he's gonna put on a show August 5th. I think Nate Diaz is gonna show up. Diaz, obviously being a UFC legend that he isn't just gonna let Jake Paul walk all over him. So I think that'll be really good. So yeah, that's our upcoming here for the next. That's our upcoming here for the next few weeks. On to news. Just a few quick, small things of news, real quick, and then we'll wrap this bad girl up. So Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois, they're fighting August 26th. That was just announced this past week for Usyk's WBO, IBF, IBA titles at heavyweight. Obviously, we would have liked to see him maybe fight someone else, but it is what it is. He's fighting a mandatory, and Daniel Dubois. Mandatories are part of the sport, especially when the next announcement was Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou. So there's 2 schools of thought on this. People love it or they hate it. I don't know where I land on it, but man, literally everything I've seen, boxing media, people either are excited about it or people are pissed. I saw one page that I follow, they posted that boxing, especially heavyweight boxing in parentheses, has shot themselves in the foot once again. Meaning that we really wanted to see an undisputed heavyweight with Usyk and Fury. And a lot of people are saying, well, instead of chasing legacy, Fury's chasing the bag, which I get it. This is going to be a high-paying fight. UFC, I would say, honestly, probably a UFC legend, at least in the making, NGANNOU. So that's going to be a good bout, man. I think I don't know about boxing fundamentals good, but it's going to be a good bout, as in a lot of people are going to tune in for sure. So it's going to be a big money event out in Saudi Arabia, out in the Middle East. So I don't know, man. I think it's hard to say that NGANNOU really holds a candle to Fury. I'm not saying Fury is one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, but man, he's really good. And NGANNOU coming from an MMA background, he's got good striking. I've watched a lot of his UFC bouts, and he's got good striking. He's huge, man, big, athletic freak of a dude, man. So you can't take anything away from him on that. I think he's definitely gonna use physicality and size. I think it might be one of the best size matchups, believe it or not, in Fury's career, man. I mean, he's gonna be just about every bit as big as Fury is. So maybe we'll kind of see Fury box someone his own size. I know he's had a few fights in the past that came close, but yeah, I think this would be a pretty even size matchup. But in a lot of ways, I agree too. I wish we would have seen undisputed, instead of seeing something like this. But at the end of the day, Fury's a businessman too. You got to think about that. And he's going for the fight that's going to give him a bigger bag. I think he would have made close to, if not just as good of money on fighting Usyk. But what do I know? I'm not a boxing promoter. I'm a low-time boxing podcaster that's screaming his thoughts and opinions at you guys. So yeah, thought that was some pretty big news. That was just announced this week for October 28th. In case I didn't say it earlier, October 28th, Fury and NGANNOU. I'll be tuning in, man. I can't lie. I'll be watching it. So, and I know a lot of these people out here, the boxing media that's hating on it, they'll be tuning in too. So, yeah, I think we'll be surprised at how well it goes. I think so. Yep. And then my last little bit of news. I'm gonna sign off here, guys. Hop back in that pool. Maybe hit the beach real quick. Shakur has appealed, I believe, to the WBA, and he said, "Hey, man, like, because I think after the talks of the 25-75 have kind of subsided a little bit, Haney's kind of moved on. He's like, I'm going a different direction." And Shakur's obviously pretty pissed about that because he doesn't want to. He's going for legacy. He's going for, he's trying to unify these titles at 135. He appealed to the WBA, I believe, or WBO, one of the two, and said, "Hey, man, I'm higher ranking in almost all of these different divisions, man. That, not different divisions, different title entities. You know what I'm talking about. I'm on vacation mode right now, man. My head's in the clouds. But with the WBA, IBF, I want to say he's number 1 in the WBA, number 2 or 3 in the WBO, and he's like 4th in the IBF and WBO or something like that. So he's pretty high ranking in all the different, title entities. So, yeah, man. So I don't know. He brings up a good point. So I think he's appealing to them to make him a mandatory for Devin Haney. So that way they have to make that fight made, because right now it's kind of on the chopping block that it might not get made right away, which I understand, man. Who wants to fight Shakur when he's as good as he is? And Devin Haney obviously has everyone and their dog trying to call him out right now. Regis Prograis at 140, Ryan Garcia's calling him out, anyone at 35 wants him. So, and on the flip side, people are kind of scared, I think, to fight Shakur, man. A lot of people don't want to fight him. They know that he's going to be a tough bout. And he doesn't have any titles right now, man. So it's like, why would I take that tough of a bout and not get any titles out of it? So I do see what he's saying, but Shakur's one of my favorite fighters, man. So give that man his love and his belts. Give him his chance, man. At least his chance, if anything, So, but all right, guys, that's it for episode 12. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. Honestly, man, it's such a pleasure talking with you guys. I believe next week we'll be back to normal programming, man. I'll be off vacation. James will be back, I believe. So it'll be a little more of like what you guys are used to. Our normal setup should be both of us again. So, but yeah, stay tuned, guys, man. We got some good stuff coming up for you guys. We're gonna start experimenting with some new content. I've had quite a few people hit me up in my DMs and talk to me in person about maybe covering a little bit of UFC stuff. I know we do, boxing is me and James's true love, but we are the Fight Night Forecast for sure. So it's not the Boxing Night Forecast only. So I know I have a lot of people that are fans of both. I can't promise that we'll give as in-depth of research into it as we do boxing, just because it's something me and James both love. But if that's what a lot of you guys want to see, then maybe we'll look into covering that. Also, we're looking at doing like a weigh, like the night or day of the weigh-in segment where we kind of look at, watch the weigh-ins, maybe watch it live, something like that, and give our opinion and our last-minute fight analysis before it happens. They wouldn't be very long videos, maybe 4 or 5 minutes, something like that. So yeah, thank you guys so much. We'll look into that content. Thank you guys for all the love, the support, the responses. Thank you guys for the content ideas, man. So me and James, we're really blessed to have a good group of folk around us, man, that are really encouraging us to keep going with this. So again, thank you guys so much, man. please like, comment, subscribe, tag everything you can along here, man. Hit it all, bro, except the dislike. Don't hit that dislike. But yeah, hit us up, man. Talk to us in the comments. Let us know what you think. Next week we'll be back to the question of the week. So we'll give you guys a chance to answer some more of those. And yeah, man, share this with a friend. I think I'm gonna try to get it to where I can get the videos over here too. So, all right, peace, guys.